But go ahead and grab your light weights for me, please. And just hold them down by your sides for now. Abs in, tailbone long, ribs pulled down, shoulders. We're going to squeeze them up. Give yourself a little rock side to side and lift and lower one shoulder at a time. Good. Then we're going to bring that into a little bit of an elbow lift. We're going to step out a little bit. And then we're going to make that movement a little bigger and a little faster as we step touch. And try and make it a big circle. So notice if you're doing sort of an oblong, do your best to circle it. Two more like this. And then I want you to reverse it. So you're going to go back, forward, and up, back, forward, and up. And you may already be feeling this in your shoulders. Good. Last two. Last one. Ooh, let's go back to that little shoulder rock. You may have created some tension in that neck. And then arms just right here at your hips. Let's pick up that pace a little bit at that step touch. Arms out to the side, nice and straight. Add a little press out as you step touch. So a little bit of bicep work. If that confuses you, just do it to one side, but just remember which side you're doing it to, so that when we switch in a minute, you'll switch up. So if you're doing slow motion, right, go ahead and switch which side you're doing the extension on, if that makes sense. I don't know, I think I might have confused myself more than anything else. Good, and rest those arms, shoulders back and down. We're going to angle one foot in front, one behind. We're going to turn our palms to the back of the room and straighten those arms. Lift the back leg, lift the arms. So nice straight arm lift. So you will feel that mostly in that shoulder blade area, but you might be getting a little tricep action here too. Last two. Last one. Rock on back through center and start angling the other way. This time, we're going to do the same leg work. Elbows are going to have a tiny bend and we'll straighten. So it does become a tricep exercise now. You can either have your pinkies towards the sky or palms to the sky. Almost there. Last two. And last one, step touch. Roll those shoulders again. And then we're bringing those arms right here. We're going to try and get the elbows in front of the shoulders and the hands, the wrists right over that. And we're just doing a little tiny lift here. Tiny little lift, again, fronts of the shoulders as we step touch. Good. Now I want you to put your hands together, leave your elbows apart, and squeeze the elbows in. Bringing it into a little bit of chest work here. Drop those arms for a moment, roll those shoulders up, back and down. All right, and then we're going right back up to where we were, but everything is together this time. Wrists together and elbows together. And we're coming up, left knee. Right arm, or excuse me, arms go to the left. So rotation through that waist. My arms are starting to droop, so keep your elbows high and relax. Just because when I do it, you know, I'm going to pretend like y'all do too. Woo. and then we're back up again. And we're going the other way. So notice that I kind of slowed it down a little bit. We don't want to whip that back around. Almost there. And relax. Woo. Back to hands at your hips, just relaxing here. Take that little bit of a dip in the middle here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dip it, both knees. Let's go ahead as we come down. Just rest your weights off to the side for a moment. Hands on your thighs, let's round through that spine, cat-cow, extending and rounding a few times. Good, drop that right shoulder in, look over your left. Back through center, other way. Back through center. We're gonna keep our arms and our legs wide. We're gonna walk it out for a nice set of push-ups. But kind of easier version with everything nice and strong and wide. Lower and lift as a unit and the best you can. Head in line. And we're going to press it back. Keep that right hand in center, bend, and open to the left. Bring that left hand down, grip in that left knee, open that right arm. Guess what? We have another set of those. But again, you're doing that wide angle with the legs, wide angle with your arms, coming up and down this unit, head in line with your spine. And shift it back. Woo. Right hand center, right knee bends. Lift that left arm. Swing it around. Switch it up. And bring that down. Walk those feet together. Hands on your thighs. Let's round through a cat. Inhale through a cow. Nice extension. Big deep breath in. Exhale, relax that back and down. All right. So we're gonna start with, weight in your right hand, ball behind your left leg. Holding that, squeezing it, bend that right knee. You might need a chair. Mine seems to be occupied at the moment. So as that left leg goes up, that right arm goes up. And it works out better. Right knee is slightly bent. Spine is nice and long. You have the option to just do the leg. You could just do the arm, but we'd like to work that booty. Beautiful. This time, leave the leg up, flex through the heel, hand down by the side. I want you to start a hamstring curl here. Lift that elbow up and off to the side, and you're just holding this arm. If it starts to round, I want you to remind yourself to lift it. You could add that little squeeze, lift, and bring that down. Ooh. Cross that left ankle over the right, and we're going up and over. And bring it down. We're switching that up. So ball behind your right leg. Left knee is bent, weight in your left hand. We're hinged forward. A lot of support with that leg. arm and leg lift at the same time. Long spine. Almost there. Good. Leg up this time. Squeeze, 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 hamstring curl. Arm off to the side, bend the elbow, extend the arm, and just leave it there. As it starts to drag, lift it up or lift it every time you squeeze. And bring that up. Woo. Right leg crosses the left, we go up and over. All right. You can lose the ball for a moment. Both weights. We're coming to center. Abs in, tailbone long. Sit down in your plie position and then lift your heels. And I want you down far enough that you maybe already feel some shaking in your quads. And then just lift and lower those heels so those calves start to work. Keep that going for me, please. All right, just a few more calf raises. Yeah, I know I didn't do them. All right, and then option to keep your heels down or keep them elevated. We're serving that platter. So fronts of the shoulders into your biceps at the end. By now, those quads, I hope, are shaking a little bit. Two more. Good. Bring the arms down for just a second. Lift the heels. Come up. Take a breath. Sit right back down. Tailbone under, abs in. Serve that platter and get those arms stick straight. From there, you're going to do that tiny bend and straighten. Straighten palms to the sky. So we're working those biceps. And sit a little deeper if you want, up on those toes if you like. And relax. Woo. Hand or weights down for a minute. Flex through those palms, open to each side of the room. Let your chest open up a little bit. And shake that out. All right. We're going back to that position we were in a minute ago, but instead of the ball behind your leg, you're going to have a weight behind your leg. So you're going to put a weight behind your left leg. Bend that right knee. Come into that flat back position. Only we're going to be rotating the leg open. And the same with the arm. So we're working those rear deltoids and that beautiful muscle that lays across your scapula subscapularis, I think. Did they change the name? Anyway, teasing. So we're working that outer hip, posture muscles, head in line. Good, lead everything up, hold it there, bend a little deeper to your right leg, and bring it up. And we're switching. So now that weight comes behind your right leg. Bend that left knee. And remember, we're rotating that leg open. Same time we rotate that arm open. Two more. Hold them up. And relax. Set those weights down for just a second. Quick little stretch. Right ankle crosses left leg. Sit that booty back, long spine, tailbone up in the air, and then round it under to take it into your low back. And then stick it out again. And then cross that right leg over the left. Right arm up and over, hips to the right. And then same thing other side. So we'll cross that left ankle over the right thigh, bend the knee, tailbone up and out. Round it under, low back stretch, stick it out again, outer hip stretch. And then left across right, hips to the left, arms to the right. Beautiful. Bring that down. All right. We're going back to the ball. And this time, that ball is between your thighs. You're giving it a squeeze. Abs are in, tailbone is long. We're going to start with just the calf. So just simple calf raise. Just do your best to not plunk down. Try to come up and lower, maybe with barely putting any weight on the heels, maybe no weight on the heels. Anything with your arms or not. Two more. Good. You're going to stay up this time. If you don't have your chair handy, move back just a little bit. Put your right foot in front and off the ground. Left leg, calf raise, straight leg calf raise. Two more. I hope you feel these. Hold this one up. Can you go a quarter of an inch higher, higher, higher? Ooh, bring that down. We'll stretch that in just a second. Left leg a little in front of the right. And that single leg calf raise, straight leg. Two more. Raise it up, hold, 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 and bring that down. All right, let's give that a quick stretch. So step back with the right leg. Make sure both feet are pointed straight ahead. Bring your hips with you as you lunge, deep lunge, left knee bend, right leg presses that heel down to the ground. Maybe take a wide enough stance that your right heel comes off the ground and then try and press it down, but try and do that without booty back. And that should be deeper in the knee. Roll up on those toes. Let's turn the toes in and the heel out and press the hip forward for that delicious. I really like this one on the calf. And bend that knee. And then we'll roll the toes out and the heel in, and we want to bring that hip with us as we lunge and bend. Shake that out. Step back with your left foot. Again, make sure everything's lined up. Maybe scoot a little farther forward till the heel lifts up and then press it down. So a little extra stretch there. Bend that knee. Roll up on those toes, turn the toe in and the heel out and lunge. And bend that knee and we roll up and go toe out, heel in, lunge, bend the knee and roll it up. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. All right, we're going back to, nope, ball and weight, sorry. Ball behind your left leg again. And in your right hand. We tip forward yet again, point the toe this time, bring your hand out to the side, sort of an L shape, extend it out. As you do that, notice if that shoulder rolls forward, I want that shoulder to stay back. And we're going to just pulse out a little tricep here. And then we're going to add that hamstring curl, but pointed toe this time. Just 4 more. Beautiful. Bring it up. Step forward with that left leg that you just worked. Bend the right knee. Stick that tailbone out. Keep the left toes down for a hamstring stretch. Roll them up. And then lay them back down again. Then come on up. Other side, ball behind the right leg. Flat back. Point the toe to the sky. Bend that left knee. Start your hamstring curl. Left arm. Off and out to the side. Tricep. Almost there. And bring that down. Again, step forward with your right foot. Lunge with that left knee bent. Roll those toes up. And then back down again. Bring it up. All right. Park your ball for a second. We're going to take both weights in your left hand. We're going to top off that tricep that we just worked. Bend that right knee. We're going to start nicely with a little rowing motion. Just again, to remind us of those beautiful posture muscles. Lift that shoulder. Make sure, even when you come forward, allow that shoulder to pull back. I'm doing a little rotation at the top. Good. Now I'm going to stay at the top with that elbow high, shoulder back, and straight arm. Nice and straight. Bend and straighten. When you bend, only come to 90. Try not to come in front of you for bicep, just tricep. Two more. Beautiful. Set those weights down for a second. Left arm comes to your left shoulder. Give it a tug back. Feel that beautiful stretch down your tricep. Then bring it to center and over to your right. And then let's put the weights in your right hand. Lunge forward with your left leg. And then we just start with that rowing motion. And we're doing our best to have awareness of keeping that shoulder back. Working those posture muscles, those rowing motions, rowing muscles. Almost there. Beautiful. And now here we are, arm up, and we're going to bend and straighten, bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Finishing off that tricep. And relax. Right hand, right shoulder. Ooh, give it a little tug. And then back through center and over to your opposite side. Shake that out, shake those hips out. We're coming down onto the ground. We're going to need both our weights and our ball, please. And as we come down, we're going to sit up on that ball because we love this so much. All right, so sitting nice and tall on that ball, left knee in, bring it up and in, and maybe wrap it around so you can sit really tall, roll a little bit forward on the ball, and then extend that right leg off to the side. It's not straight in front of you, it's not way off to the side, and then you're gonna probably wanna have your right hand here for support. We're just pointing and flexing with the foot on the ground to start with, because we're feeling nice. Good, just two more. And then we'll lift the leg off the ground, stay connected, rib and thigh here, And same thing, point and flex. Check and see if you've rounded and do your best to extend through that spine. Press into that right hand as much as you need to. And relax. Woo, we're not stretching that yet. Bring that right leg in, left leg goes off to the side. Reformat on top of that ball, grab that leg, left hand down, point and flex, rotate that leg a little bit open. Good, hug it in because that leg's coming off the ground, point and flex. And bring that down. All right, this time, as that left leg comes in, it's going down onto the ground. And that right leg is off to the side. We're going to flex through the heel. Feel that tightening of the muscles. Rotate that leg open just a little bit. Use both hands to sit yourself tall, right? And then that leg comes off the ground, just like that. Windshield wiper, in and out. Try and move from the hip. Good. Leave that flex. Bring the whole leg in and out. Almost there. Bring it down. Woo. We'll stretch that in a minute. I've said that before. Bring that leg in, opposite leg in. Sit tall on that ball. Flex through that left leg. Engage all those muscles. Rotate that leg open. And then we lift it off the ground. We windshield wiper. In and out. And down. Ooh, now we can roll off that ball. Take that leg you just worked. I think it's your left leg. Try and get that knee behind your hip. Roll the hip forward and then rotate it open. Sit as if you're sitting into it for a second. And then roll it open again. And then sit it back for a second. And then roll it open. Leave that there. Arm up, over, overhead. Back down, and then we'll give a little crunch of the ribs and hips together, push the hip forward, and that should give you a nice hip flexor stretch. All right, as we come up, leave the legs how they are, bring that left leg in front of you, but notice if you came off that hip, I want you to skew yourself. So you're sitting on that left hip, and then pull that leg across, and at the same time, push down into your hip flexor. So you're getting that stretch across the quad, and again, the hip flexor. And relax. All right. And then let's stretch the other side. So this time your right leg, try and get that knee behind your hip, roll that hip forward, and then sit into it, get there, let that have a little crease, and then roll it up, and back, and up, and back. And last time, roll it up, leave it there, arm up, over. There's no cat to pet on this side to open. Come back to center, close those ribs and hips together. Good, and then as we come up to a seated position, we're just gonna bring that leg across, and I'm gonna be very lopsided, so I'm gonna lift up and boop. Try and get weight on that right hip. Keep that hip down as I pull across just a little bit here. Beautiful, all right. We're coming down onto the ground, knees are bent. Have your weights on each side of your body for me, please. You're just going to bring that ball underneath kind of the neck and upper back area, just to give yourself a little bit of lift and opening, just so you're getting a nice stretch across your chest. I want the arms out in sort of a V position. Deep breath in, exhale. Notice your shoulders. I want you to push them back and down, and then lift the arms off the ground. So I'm reaching, I feel a little bit in my biceps. I'm going to bend my elbows and then straighten and straighten. So really lazy version of a bicep curl here, tiny little motion so that I'm really emphasizing the straight part. And as I do that, I want to keep my shoulders back and down. and relax. And then we'll bring that ball in between our thighs. Let your arms come out into that T position and let them just drop open for a moment. Just a very, very passive bicep stretch. Let your knees drop a little bit over to the left, holding onto that ball, and let your right shoulder stay open so that you get a stretch across that chest and across that bicep a bit. And then come on back through center. Let those knees drop over to your right. And let that left side stay on the ground, that left upper body, so you get that stretch across the chest and the bicep. And then we'll come on back through center, hug those knees in for a moment. Maybe a little rock side to side if that would feel good. And then we'll move that ball down between the ankles for our toe touch exercise. Let's take a single weight, and as always, you have options. You can put it on your low abs and hollow them out. You can put them on your ribs, which means your ribs need to stay down. You could put it lengthwise so you kind of feel both ribs and low abs. Deep breath in. On the exhale, pull your belly button in, stabilize that torso, and then on the inhale, move your legs away, squeeze the ball, and exhale, come up. So you're going to inhale to lower, squeeze at the bottom, and exhale up. And keep that going for me. Don't forget that squeeze at the bottom and that awareness of what's going on, where that weight is sitting, that you're keeping that perfectly stable. 2 more like that, please. All right, and then take the ball, lift your hips up and roll the ball underneath your tailbone. So as always, when we do this exercise for both an unstable environment and a pelvic tilt, we want to make sure that ball is down near where the bottom of your glutes are, and then lift those legs up tabletop. Before you do anything, hover those hands and see how that feels to be on this, again, unstable environment. Flatten those ribs, and then option to do a single leg toe touch or a single leg heel flex, or both legs together. Arms up if you can. Make sure you're centered on the ball. A few more here. And then we're going to bridge up and bring that out from under us. And talking about bridges, we're going to bring that ball between our knees, walk your big toes to touch. And we're going to bring both weights onto our hips, right where your hip flexors are, so that they just kind of rest there. Take 2 peace sign fingers of each hand and press down on those weights. Then we're going to lift up in our bridge. We're going to squeeze the ball and lift the hips an inch. Squeeze the ball, lift the hips, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift. And relax that down. Weights out to the side. You're going to take that ball now and put it underneath your right foot. Left foot on the ground, and we're bridging up again. Option to stay here and hover your hands, and then if you want, you can just roll the ball forward back, a little bit of hamstring action there. Or you could push into the ball and lift that left leg up in the air. It could go all the way up. It could be out here. You could have it in tabletop. Big challenge here to that right glute. You could stay there, or you could lift a little higher. and bring that down. Ooh, ouch. Ball rolls underneath your left foot, please. Big deep breath in. Exhale, lift those hips. Hang out there or hover your hands and roll the ball in and out, or put the hands back down, lift that leg. It could be tabletop, it could be extended, it could be out on an angle. And then you choose once you get there, what you want to do. And relax. We're going to give those hamstrings a little attention here. Ball behind the right leg. Hug again. Grab the ball, bring it toward your knee, flex that foot up a little bit. Maybe move through the ankle and then bring that down. And then same thing other side. Ball comes in, left knee hugs in. Little mobility in that ankle. Beautiful. And then we're going to grab that ball. Actually, yeah, ball on your ankles, forehead towards your knees. We're rolling like a ball without kicking that ball across the room, please. So nice and controlled. And then when you come up, or if you need to, roll to the side and come up. And then we're going to sit up on that ball again. We're going to widen our legs. We're going to make sure we're not at all rounded. So push yourself, even if you want, into a little bit of extension. And then we'll slide those legs away a little bit, but we're going to hinge forward. And then we're going to see if we can keep the length in the body. Bring the right arm by your right ear, left arm by the left ear, and push your tailbone back, not by rounding, but by pushing just the bottom part of your tailbone. And bring that down. All right. We're gonna flip over and do a forward plank. So bring that ball underneath your belly button for me, please. Prop yourself up onto your forearms. Elbows right underneath your shoulders. Shoulders are pushed back and down. Head in line with your spine. And we'll just start with that pre-plank. So we pull the collarbone back, we pull the chest back, we pull the belly button. And then option B on the fronts of your thighs, or tuck your toes and press up into a plank. If you're on your toes, maybe try a little forward back motion without creating a flat tire on that ball. And relax. Ooh, you are welcome to stay with that. Or if you want to try the balance, that ball comes either underneath your ankles, or for a little more challenge, all the way underneath your toes. If you're leaving it under your ankles, you'll be able to add a pike if you want. Lift it up. If it's under your ankles, you can lift your hips, roll the ball forward so you're up on your tippy toes, and then come back in your plank. And roll it up into your pike and come back into your plank. Try a few of either holding the balance, pike and plank, or if you have that ball underneath your belly button, some rolling forward and back. And then spin on over to your side, and let's come down for a side plank. So elbow right underneath your shoulder, and you figure out whether you're a straight-legged side plank or bent knee. Come on up in that side plank and then put that ball where you could rest on it for a second. What? And look at your body. So I've got a little zigzag. So in order to fix that, I'm going to roll my shoulder back a little bit, and then I'm going to lift up off that ball. So it's a little more challenging being in a nice straight line. And then it's just that little, let the ball know your presence is there, but don't squish it. So remember, it's a pet ball. You don't want to squish it. You're going to do 6 more. Now, option to stick with that, come down and take and go back up, Or just keep going while I demo the balance that you guys all know. Bottom leg goes on first, ankle, top leg comes in front foot, and then lift it up. And as always, stay up as long as you want. And when you're ready, come down, AKA, let's go to the other side. So we'll start with that first one, protect that shoulder, push it back, lift up out of it, come on up, put that ball where you can rest on it, and then check your alignment. So my feet need to go back a little bit, and then bring it up, and then let the ball know you're there, love it, off of it, love and off. And again, keep going. Come down if you want, stay up if you want, add the balance if you want, right? So if you're doing that balance, it's always bottom leg at the back, top leg at the front. Oops. But make sure they're actually on the ball. And as you're ready, come on down. All right. Last thing we're going to do here, a little bit of ab work. So we're going to bring that ball behind us so we can kind of rest it. We're going to bring those weights into our hands. So we have a little bit of support here. We're going to take the front arm and rotate open, and the back arm goes up, and then we reverse those. If that's a lot on your shoulders, keep the back arm a little bit lower, but just try and make it slightly higher than your shoulder. And relax once you're even. All right, come on back through center. Just tuck that ball between your thighs for a moment. Arms out in a T position with the weights on top. Let it roll out towards your fingertips, just so you feel a nice stretch across your chest. Nod your head yes, back of the neck nice and long. And then as you're ready, just slip those hands out from under the weights. We're going to take that ball behind the right knee and hug it in. And we'll bring it in a couple circles. And then go the other way. And then we'll straighten that left leg out, flex through the heel and lay it down. And then we'll use that ball to bring that right knee in. We're going to try to hug so that we can get the rib and the thigh to stay up against each other, even as we flip the ball to push that heel towards the sky. And then we'll point and flex, maybe rotate. And then finally slide that ball down toward the ankle, lift the leg up, lean it, flex it, and bring it down with you. Then roll that ball underneath the leg, slide the right arm underneath that weight to the right, bring that right leg over to the left and up towards your shoulder. And then down towards your hip and a little farther over, but up towards your shoulder. And then down towards your hip and let it rotate. And then come on back through center. As you do so, just let that right ankle drape across the left thigh. As you thread your needle, bring the ball behind your left leg and hug it in. Use your right elbow to push that right leg open. If you wanted to, you could give that right foot a little love with your left hand. And then we'll close the gap completely, hug those knees in, and then let them drop a little to the left and let them move away. And then hug them in a little to the left, and then down toward your hips. And again, slide those hands under your weights. So big T position, and the knees can drop to the left if that feels okay with you. And then come on back through center, uncross that right leg, hug that left knee in, draw a couple circles in one direction, and then the other. And then we'll hug that rib to thigh connection, straighten out the right leg, flex through the heel, bring that left leg in, press the heel to the sky, point and flex, rotate if you can, and then roll that down to your ankle, lift it up and point and flex and bring it down. Roll the ball down, tuck it behind that leg, bring it up and over towards your right. Left hand goes under that weight. Bring the knee higher and farther, and then let it move down toward the hip. Bring it up and over, and then down toward the hip. And then if you want, twist into it. As you come back through center, left ankle crosses that right thigh. We bend that knee, we thread the needle, bring the ball behind the right leg this time. Hug it, use the left elbow against that left thigh. Maybe give that left foot a little love with your right hand if you want. And then crisscross it all the way, hug them up and in, bring them to the right, a little closer to your shoulder, and then down towards your hip. Up and over to the right, a little closer, and then down toward the hip, hands slide underneath the weights, knees drop right. Uncross as you roll on back through center. And as always, you make your way to your hands and knees however you want to, please. And we're rolling into a cat, opening into a cow, rolling a cat, and cow. Good, shake those tail feathers out a little bit, press up high plank, press back down dog, walk it back, hang your head, yes and no, shake it out, and then pedal out those feet, please. And then a wide stance, bend your knees, roll and extend, and we'll lift it up.